Hey, welcome to the Soul Healer Podcast. I am your host, Ty, soul healer, narcissist abuse survivor, derailing trauma bonds. We like to get right into it. So if you haven't checked out that first episode where I share my method on how you heal, derailing the trauma bond just like that. So this episode right here, I wanted to talk about the narcissistic triggers. Or the narcissist triggers. I wish we could think of a new name for them. Comment below a new name for the narcissist. Because to be honest with y'all, I be forgetting how to spell it. I don't know how to really say it. When you give them no emotion, no charge, you give them no fuel. Remember, they are a parasite. And we don't just say this, like we really mean this. So they can't stand when they cannot get a reaction out of you. And they will poke and poke and poke the bear. They provoke you. And a lot of the times you don't even know that you're being provoked. But as you continue onto this healing space, this healing journey, you'll start to see manipulation so easily. Once you revolutionize your healing, you are going to see how powerful you really are. And it's crazy because it shows the immaturity within the narcissist as well. It shows you that they are stunted in growth because their behavior can get real immature. At first, it starts out really subtle and they'll be very nice about things. And then it turns kind of passive aggressive. And then it turns into pure evil or confusion. Like, what? Why'd you say that? What made you say it? Like, really? Have you thinking? Have your wheels turning like, oh my goodness. So for this pattern of behavior to show up, it's like a mind game. Because listen, look, I'm not going to sit and go back and forth with you about your emotions that you are supposed to know how to regulate. It is not my job to regulate your emotions. And you know why we don't speak and or XYZ. You know this. Okay, so you get to the point where you're just like, okay, I'm not going to entertain the foolery when you know exactly what you did from A to Z. You just don't think that I know it. And this is why they'll lie to the T. They'll never admit it. So then you always second guess this. You start to second guess your reality. And that is where you get to the point where you stop trusting yourself and your decision making. So you allow them to make the decisions and they're so unstable. Like, that's not a good plan. That's not a good idea. They'll run you straight into the ground. You're going to deal with this roller coaster of emotions on a daily. To us, they are making themselves crazy, but to them, this is normal. This is normal behavior that they are okay with. They are okay with looking themselves in the mirror and knowing that they are not real and authentic. This is something they do with ease. And this gives me chills up my spine. They'll pretend and throw the guilt onto you and make you seem like you're the one that doesn't care. They'll flip and deflect their feelings, their thoughts, behaviors onto you. Meanwhile, sucking you dry of all of your good qualities and going to go spend time and use them on the other people. All at the same time of becoming the other people. How they treat the stranger better than you. They rather impress a stranger than you? Yes. Think about it, guys. The greatest love of all time has been you loving yourself this whole time. What if we played with that idea right now? The whole entire time, this love you crave, you got addicted to, is your own love. That is how great you are. Because the narcissist mirrored you. They mirrored your love, your empathy, and the way you act and the way you show love and how you carry yourself, because they don't have it in them. They need somebody close around to constantly remind them and teach them how to be genuine. And then they have the other things in the back of their head and things they learn from movies and stuff like that too. But so yeah, the foolery, they will play in your face. Son of a, and then act like forever hold their peace and look in the mirror as the F boy, F girl, F boy that they are. But what if we entertained that thought? The greatest love of all time, it was you being mirrored back into you. And with that trigger, if the niceness doesn't work, and then the passive aggressive doesn't work, then it moves to anger. And then if the anger doesn't work, then it moves back again to sweetness. And then it moves on to passive aggressive and then back to anger. And they will bounce back and forth with this because they do not know how to regulate their emotions. And at the same time, they play mind games. So it was somebody that commented on one of my videos, the mindset of a narcissist, and it just like it took me, because I said, dang, I think she used the word corroded. She used some type of word like that, and I was like, ooh, yes. Inside to the core, to the outside is wicked, and have the nerve to ask, why won't you be bothered with me? When you're done and they want to still be in your face and get your attention, and they don't know, they don't care, they don't have a thought about it. The things they do, I wouldn't want to be seen again. But they're so delusional, they'll deny it, and they don't want to entertain that. They want to keep being nasty. They want to keep up with their nasty, filthy ways for life. They don't want change. They don't want structure. They don't want growth. They literally are okay with getting up in the morning and using people, lying to themselves and others in a battle with their inner child, because they don't want to forgive. They don't want to feel the pain. They don't want to hear about the pain. They don't want to admit that there's pain there. They are very dangerous. So we have to watch who we call a narcissist, and we definitely have to watch out for the narcissist. These are people who we do not want to play with, simply. And you have to be strong. Remember why you're here. Okay, it's not a game. But that is the end of the show.
Love y'all. Happy healing.